The Cedar Key train conductors were told to pick up in Rosewood. Standing by the tracks with a lantern, its young school teacher stood, waiting in desperation to carry out the sheriff's plans, rounding up the hidden survivors to board the midnight train. The sheriff and the store owners worked around the clock. Oh Lord, inform the train conductors just when and where to stop. Pick up the men, women, and children who were hiding out and bring them to Archer, Florida, traveling the same old route. Bob Walker and John Wright took on a daring risk, put the survivors on the train, Lord, and sent them off with a kiss. Notified the Gainesville families to be on the lookout for their kin. Told them the train was a-comin' and told them exactly when. January 1, 2025, we celebrated the 102nd Rosewood anniversary here in Alachua County. How do I connect to Rosewood? My aunt was the third Rosewood colored school teacher from 1917 to 1923. In Rosewood, of course, she was from Archer. My mother was her youngest sister, and at age 20, January 1, 1923, Mom was still living at home with her parents and heard my aunt's story. When the Rosewood Massacre happened, it completely destroyed my aunt's self-image and brought shame to the family because she was gang raped. That was a shame for family members back then. She felt guilty. She was unable to function, and she suffered for the next 25 years, moving from town to town, moved more than 5 times, changed her name more than 6 times, believed committed suicide in 1948. I do have the supporting evidence. Rosewood story is important, or wasn't important to my mom. My mother said to me, Liz, not Liz, she called me baby, baby, I want you to tell Sister's story and make sure you research, authenticate, document, and tell the truth. The people living today did not create Rosewood. You did not create Rosewood, and don't ever attack anybody for what happened years ago. This is history, but make sure you preserve it, protect it, and share it. And you will find people that will join in your effort to help you tell the Rosewood story and support your efforts, as long as you are true and genuine. And that's what I have tried to do for 42 years. It hasn't been easy. When my mom first gave me the assignment, I hated it. I didn't want to do it. I was angry because it was painful. It is still painful. Am I still angry? No, because I've met people like you that want to hear her story. And had it not been for people like you that would listen to me and hear her story, I wouldn't be talking to you. And because of her, you met me. Her story is something else. My mother did not give up. I told her the first time I was chased from the courthouse in Brunson, Levy County. I went home, and when I say chase, I was doing my research in the basement around a table. Approximately 6 to 8 men walked in and encircled my table. My heart dropped. I was afraid. I didn't look up, and I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't make eye contact with them. Had I made eye contact with the people that encircled my table, they would have known I was afraid, and they would have won. But because I didn't look up, I feel like I was the winner. I went home and told my mom, I said, I can't do it. I can't. I'm scared to death. My mother said to me, baby, sit down, rest and relax, and then go back and finish my story. I wanted to say to her, you finish your story. But you know, you didn't say things of such back then. I listened to her, and because she is my mother, was my mother, I did go back. Have I finished your story? Of course not. I have made constant efforts to go back and continue as I speak researching. 3 weeks ago, I went to the courthouse where I was run from, and I said to the new clerk of the court, I was run away from this place in 1983. And he said to me, this is your courthouse, and you are welcome. And I want you to know that I am continuing, okay, to do the research. And if you heard in my song, I talked about the sheriff, the Brights brothers, the train drivers, and somebody else, John and Mary Wright, the store owners. They worked with Sheriff Bob Walker, as my mom said, 96 hours straight to help him round up unsung heroes from Cedar Key who got on that midnight train and rode to Rosewood to help the people escape. I am dedicated to those people, not those people. I am dedicated to my friends, and they are still my friends. I researched, I went to their house, I knocked on their doors, I found out who they were, and today I talk with them. I got a Christmas card, and I'm going to close. I got a Christmas card from the sheriff's granddaughter who lives in Houston, Texas. We talked. I wrote her a couple of days ago because it's storming there and said to her, are you okay? Yesterday I heard from John Wright and Mary Wright's great, I asked her how many greats, granddaughter that lives in New York. She has written a chapter from my book. And as I said, I'm going to call it quits right here. I can't tell 42 years of history in a few minutes. But anyway, I'm going to leave this with you. I wish I could sing. But anyway, I don't feel no ways tired. I've come too far from where I started from. No one ever told me that the road would be easy, but I have come too far to leave my work. Thank you. Next, we are going to sing, lift every voice and sing. And I just want you to know that James Weldon Johnson attended my college in St. Augustine from Jacksonville. And we are a member of the same blue and white fraternity sorority. And this represents him. He's my friend too.